Testing. Good morning, Recovery.
Good morning.
Hope everyone is having a great Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning coming down. Y'all ready for it? Let me put my volume down here. So it's Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. A beautiful day outside. It's super warm, super hot. I think they
Hot.
said what's the temp today?
I don't know. I know all week it's supposed to be in the 90s.
Someone told me it was like 100 degrees a day. I was like, no way.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, before we get into conversation, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great today. You know, we had to drain our pool. It's out there draining right now because I could not get that green tint out of it.
Did you try bleach?
Honey, I've tried bleach. I've tried baking soda. I have shocked that thing crazy. I don't know if it's the pump or what, but now once we put this fresh water in, and if it's still green, then I'm just gonna
No.
because I could go to Schuller's pool,
Can you?
our local pool.
Have you shocked it?
I did. Yeah, I'm telling you. Like I shocked it. I put
And you vacuumed it?
No, that's one thing I didn't do. So we'll let it get up there, with the new water and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I am aggravated with it.
Once it drains, maybe get down inside of there
And clean it. Yeah,
get
that's
the
what we
A-Fresh team in there with everybody. Just make sure that they're like don't have shoes on. Like, don't
like we're gonna get in there and get that green out.
Yeah, and just kind of scrub it out, rinse it out. I think it should be fine.
I hope so.
Yeah, it will.
These pools are aggravating to deal with.
I know. I dumped a gallon. Well, we just have a smaller one.
Yeah.
Like waist high.
Yeah.
But it's just enough to get wet in.
Right. That's all you need.
But it was green. So my sister had dumped some bleach in it over the weekend. No results. So I went back out there last night. I was like, no, that pool's not going to be green tomorrow. It's not.
It's going down. Gosh.
Yeah, so it's blue. It's not clear, but it's blue.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about even taking some food coloring out there and just dripping it in. So a lot of people, when they come by, they're like, just add some food coloring to it. I'm like, you know what? I'm almost there to that point.
Right.
My goodness. But anyway, yeah. So summertime, is it coming? Is it here yet? Summertime? It should be.
It's here.
Yeah. We're feeling it anyway.
Yeah. For sure.
And the hot heat and these beautiful warm mornings. And Reset. That's what we named our show today, Reset, because we haven't been on here for over a week, I think.
Right.
And it's because I needed a reset in life. And that's what I did. I took off to Pound, Virginia, which is where Sean is in that prison down there. And it's Red Onion. And so I thought, well, let's do Reset on going and visit somebody who really needs visitation right now, who's kind of down in life.
Yeah.
And B, explore the area and see what's going on around there. So when we go to see Sean, there's this big mountain. This prison's like back in the middle of nowhere. I'm telling you, in the middle of nowhere. So there's this big mountain, and we usually stay in this hotel on this side of the mountain, right?
Okay.
Well, on this day, and there's nothing there. There's literally like an IGA, I think, or something,
So it's old school.
It's old school in the middle of nowhere place.
Okay.
All right. So then I Google nail salon near me. And it's over the mountain. It's a little town over there.
And is this where you got these
That's
nails?
where I got these nails.
They did a good job.
They did so good. It's called Wise, Virginia. So Pound is on this side. Wise is on this side of this huge, massive mountain. Sean's on top of, or really in the depth of this mountain over here.
Okay.
But so I went to Wise, Virginia, and I found a really nice hotel, and I stayed on that side this time. And visitation went well with him. I had a peaceful couple days there by myself. I went out and ate by myself. I went on a beautiful hike, and just really relaxed and got into my Bible and just got off social media a little bit, which I love going to that area because my phone doesn't work all the way. I love areas where it's like, we don't have no service. And at first you freak out, and then you're like,
this is nice.
Let's put it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the area I was at.
Yeah,
It
'cause
was
sometimes
great.
that's necessary.
Yes.
I'm in a point in my life where I've shut down my Facebook, and that's been for maybe a couple months now.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome for
maybe
you.
not quite a couple months, but
But
it's
I do know when I go on there every now and then, you're not on there. I know
no,
that
I've
it's break time for you.
yeah, that's it. And
Reset.
yeah, that's what I do because like
Yeah.
if there's just so much going on, you can get so caught up in that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
sometimes like if my life is like, chaotic, it's a lot easier for me to just scroll and see,
Mhm.
even if it's just seeing what everybody else is doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to avoid dealing with my own chaos.
And the hours that go by when you're just sitting there looking at everyone else and their stuff
Right.
is crazy.
And you're not helping anybody, not you
No.
or them.
No. So it's like, yeah. So one of the things that I put on on my little mind is like, okay, what can I do with this time instead of sitting here and watching TikTok or, all these different videos and things on Facebook? Like, what can I do? So I'll just start doing random things now, like to try to not be on social media so much. But I totally get it. It does suck you in,
Right, right.
Thank you, by the way, for helping me to be able to go on this trip this past week because without you
Absolutely.
and a couple others that stepped up and helped, I wouldn't have been able to go. So I'm so thankful for our support system here and what we got going on. So with Reset though, Charity, what is the number one thing that you do? Is it to get off social media or is it I know you got that prayer room. Like what do you do for Reset? Do you like getting away?
Well, we are getting away as a family this year. But honestly, I feel like I try to reset every day
Mhm.
because um I'm thankful for what you do for this community with Valley Rise Above.
Well, it's all
But
of
there's
us.
a lot. You know what I mean? I don't know that me myself that I would be able to be in the home all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a
Because
lot.
that's one thing that I need in the mornings. I have got to get away with the Lord
Yeah.
because I can do it for a few months maybe, but
Mhm.
if I do that continuously, what I mean, I'll slip up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe not
Yeah.
slip up by relapsing, but I'll slip up in just different ways. My attitude.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The way I'm treating people around me.
Well, I
things
definitely
like
get that. Like, I do that already. When my attitude goes explosive, everybody around's like, "Whoa, she needs a break."
Yeah,
Like,
and I
everybody
think
kinda
I think
calls
it's
it.
necessary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think
'Cause
that
I'm human.
yeah,
I'm human just like everybody else.
that's
So,
exactly right.
when those moments come of like, "Ah!"
Yeah. Yeah. And so the difference is, you have a house full of people
Yeah.
around, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so
And they see it.
I'm so thankful but you hold it together. I mean, you may have some of
Yeah.
that, Andrea, but I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your vulnerability, even like sometimes walking into the like recovery meeting and saying, "Hey, I'm struggling."
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You
it's
know
been
what I
some
mean?
times,
And
honey.
and the fact that you do that, like
You
that's
have to be.
big, you
You
know what I
got to
mean?
be real because if
Yeah.
not, like, I can't hold that stuff up inside.
No, well, and it's good for everybody else to see because, like, we all have times where, like, we're struggling too.
I know,
Yeah.
right? So we all relate with one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's best to be real about the situation you're in. It's been times I've told y'all before where I've walked out of the gym after a hard good workout and feel good, but can taste it
Yeah.
still. I
Yeah.
mean, we're going into 5 years and that still happens to me every now and then, but
Oh,
that's an
yeah.
attack.
Right.
I have a different mindset now, what you do too. We're
Mhm.
looking at it as the spiritual realm way.
Right.
Like this is a negative attack for some reason. Why? You know what I
Right.
mean? To where before I was like, hmm,
Maybe I'll do that.
maybe I should go.
Well,
You know what I
and
mean?
the summertime is the worst time for me.
It's a lot. I get that from a lot of people. Tell me why
Yes.
for you.
I don't know what it is, because, I struggled with addiction for 12 years. So, during those 12 years, I mean, I was getting high whether it would be summertime, spring, fall, winter, but I don't know what it is about the summertime that, it just
Late nights before the sun goes,
well,
or
not
like
even that, like
what?
getting together. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
your
Summertime,
get-togethers, your family.
like when you're getting together with family or friends or something, like
Yeah,
something about that, which I'm doing a lot better now, but it's been 6 years. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Over time, when you are feeding your spirit and you're not feeding your flesh, you know what I mean? Your spirit man rises up and the flesh is not quite as strong as it was maybe year 1.
right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
definitely.
so, anyways, the summertime gets here and everybody's getting together and it's like the normal reaction, like, well, we got to get high.
Yeah.
We got to get high. Everybody's getting together.
Hmm.
We got to, you know what I mean? And I know that's not where my mind should go, but it does go there
Yeah.
sometimes. And I'm like, you know,
For me, the high part will kick in like the harder drug part will kick in like if I get depressed or like and that still happens today. Every now and then. It's better now. It's not
Yeah,
as often as what it was when I first started
but it
trying to
still
get sober,
happens.
but it still happens. Yeah. And
Right,
how do you maneuver through that? Well, from and isolation they say is not good,
right.
but that's how I handle
I
myself.
handle
I have to lock myself away
yeah,
sometimes.
so I don't think isolation's always
I
bad.
don't think it is neither.
No, for me, like, sometimes it's necessary.
Absolutely.
It's very
Yeah, to
necessary
get
that I can
into the
just get
word and just,
yeah,
like, focus or just literally lay down and take a nap.
yeah.
Sometimes we need
How important is rest?
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
yeah,
true. That is
yeah.
real.
So, I mean, as long as your isolation isn't to go to the room and try to self-harm or harm somebody else or anything
Mhm.
like that, I feel like that use your isolation part as a
Maybe a
way to
time
reset.
as resetting, resting,
Yeah,
connecting to the Lord.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think we need to do that daily anyways.
Absolutely,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? If
Yeah,
we
I feel a big difference just getting in so I got the recovery Bible.
mhm,
By the way, if anyone out there has extra recovery Bibles, we, are asking for donations here to the house. We have a lot of people who come through. That recovery Bible is one Bible I can understand
mhm,
very
and
good.
especially, like, the little devotionals on
Yeah.
the side, and
I'm
just
actually getting in stories I never and I grew up in church, and I
yeah,
don't remember a lot of these stories.
right.
I'm learning about Lot and Lot's wife, and, like, I'm reading these things that are very written out very, understandable,
Yes,
where
yes,
before I don't know a lot of it.
yeah,
So, anyway, if anybody has any of those Bibles you want to donate, hit me up.
that would be awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you guys
That
already in
yeah.
advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I remember the first time I read the recovery Bible, I was in jail.
was you? Did you read the
Yeah.
whole thing?
I do you know the first time that I read the New Testament? I read the New Testament before I ever read the Old Testament.
Gotcha.
I had gotten in a fight and I was in, the hole for 10 days, and
Yeah.
during those 10 days, all I did was read. So it's not a really great it wasn't a good story of how I got there, but that's the first time I ever read the New Testament, and then when I got back up to the pod, that for the rest of my bid, I read through the rest of it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't read through the rest of it, so I started after I read, through the New Testament, then I started in Genesis, and I got out around Second Kings, but I just continued reading it after that.
I just love it because it really does make you it helps you
Well,
understand.
in that, study Bible, you know what I mean? So you've got, like, the devotionals and you've got
Mhm.
all these different things, but just the captions down at the bottom just that are, like, breaking it down into real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so you can relate.
You
It's
understand,
very
you
relatable.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah, so
I love it.
I think so too.
I'm
And a
in,
lot of times
I'm in the story of Moses right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, and that's what I say. When you get in there and, like, when you're reading all that, like, reading the Bible's a wonderful thing, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, it's
And
helped me a lot in
yeah,
the past couple days just diving into it just a couple
yeah.
minutes a day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But reading those captions at the bottom where you can relate to like, "Oh, wow, this is a lot like my story."
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is like, I remember, like, with Moses when, like, when the Israelites are coming out. That's a kind of a picture of us, you know what I mean? I put myself there as when I was coming out of my addiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because there was a wilderness season there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Mhm.
sometimes I still feel like I'm in the wilderness, and
I
yeah.
know. I know.
And
Me too, honey.
that's why reset is so important, you know?
Reset is super important in life, and I don't care if you're in recovery, not in recovery, whoever you are out there, you sometimes taking a time out to yourself and just, like, evaluating your whole situation in life, where you're
Yeah,
supposed to be and all that stuff.
right.
It's important. I mean, we get tied up in this life these days, and it's so fast.
Everything's so busy.
It's fast living, like, your phone and just work and everything, like,
Well,
it's
we expect everything instantaneous now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Do
Yeah.
you remember probably I don't know how it was when you were in high school, but when I was in high school, do you know I never had my first cell phone until after I had my first son.
Yeah, no, I remember having a pager for the longest time,
I
and I don't
didn't
even
have a
think mine
pager.
worked. I just carried around like a broken pager thinking I was
You know
somebody.
what I mean? Hopefully it'll beep every
And
now and
I'll
then.
never forget the time my aunt got a car phone, and that thing was in that big box, and I thought, "Man, she is rich. It's not fair. I can't even have a car phone."
But, before that, everything wasn't instant. Now
No.
everything's instant. You want instant results, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that even with going to the tanning bed.
I know.
You go into the tanning bed. for me myself.
You want it.
You want it, you know what I mean?
It
And then
takes
all of a sudden it's
takes
like,
about
well,
5, 10
it's taken
times.
too many times. Let me go to the magic bed. You know? You know what I mean? But when I walked out there, I thought it's because, you know, just as people, we have learned to want things instantly.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And that's the thing that's
And
hard.
Google and AI is not helping none at all. If I
No.
have anything I need, I just hey, Google,
You know, but
hey, Siri.
that's what's hard about recovery, right? Because we want instant results with that too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when people are going through struggling, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not everybody, like a lot of times people don't get off everything at one time.
No, it
You
takes
know,
time.
it takes time. And so, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? In a world where everything's so fast paced and we want everything right now, we want that recovery right now too. Like, you
Mhm.
know, hey, I've been doing this for 10 years. You know, I've done lost everything. And, you know, I've decided within my heart, I want to change right now. And then if things doesn't happen right now, you get discouraged.
Yeah.
You know what I
Definitely.
mean? And so even if a person's like in that place right now, take a reset.
Yeah.
You know, be proud of where you're at. You know what I mean? Be thankful for, you know, what the Lord's brought you out of already.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to look at this as steps.
If you have stopped with opioids or meth or heroin or whatever the case may be, if you have already made a day of sobriety, honey, you are on your way.
That's
You just
exactly
keep
right.
on going.
Yeah.
Now, this past week, it's something about when I leave from here, I can quit smoking.
Yeah.
So I quit vaping. Last Tuesday was my final day of vaping.
Uh-huh.
I'm just done, gone.
Wonderful.
Well, I got down there, boy. I was like, oh
What am I
gosh.
gonna do?
Yeah, it's so hard. You know how it is. Just oh gosh. Oh my God. So, but thankfully I'm still quit. It's definitely hard. Like I just, it's hard to be around people who vapes too. When I came back, it's like everybody around me pretty much vapes, but me and one other person quit together and we're still doing it
Good.
strong. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So I'm just, just want to, but
Good for you.
we are all at this part in life where it's like, if that's where you are with the hard drugs, all right, we want to do one thing at a time here. You're not gonna like overnight wake up tomorrow and be this best version of yourself
No.
tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Process.
This is a process.
a
it takes a
sanctification
long
process,
time. It
you
can take
know?
it can take months, years, whatever. But you're striving. And that's
Right.
the important thing to remember. You're working on becoming that better version of yourself.
That's right.
And that's amazing.
And just
That's an
keep
amazing
pushing
place
forward.
to be.
It is.
Yeah,
It
because I
is.
remember a time where you just
Didn't care about
you
any
didn't
of that.
care.
No.
I didn't think about, oh, let me throw this down right now. Stuff had to happen in my life to where I was able to look at myself and say, okay, I got a problem.
Mhm.
But it took a really long time for me to
Yeah.
admit that,
Well, I'll tell you, for me, I had to lose everything.
Yeah.
I literally had to lose everything. And
Yeah.
really, it was when I reached out and asked the Lord to help me. That was my
I have the same
my
story.
first cry to the Lord was not like, Lord Jesus, come into my heart, save me. That was not my first cry. My first cry to the Lord was help me.
Yeah.
That was true. And you know what I mean? It was when I cried out to him for that help and knew that I needed that help, but I lost everything
Mhm.
before that. You know what I mean? But praise God, he's gave it all back.
Hasn't he though?
You know what I mean?
It's
He
so
has
amazing.
gave it all back. But I mean, I had, you know what I mean? So like, no matter where you're at in your recovery, if you ain't even started your recovery, you know what I mean? If you're in the process right now of losing everything, I just want you to know that really, truly, you can call out to the Lord, and He is a restorer. He restores our lives. You know what I mean? Things may not be the same way that they were before.
It might take
more
a
often
little
than
bit.
not, they're not going to be. And thankfully, that's great. That's the
Mhm.
process that we, you know what I mean? We lose things.
Yeah, I had I have a couple people reaching out here and there to want to get sober. And the one thing that I tell everybody is if you're wanting to get sober, you need to do everything you can to not get high. Everything that you don't want to do is probably what you should be doing.
Right.
And go to a homeless shelter. Go to a rehab. Go
Right.
get away from the situation you're at in order to I had to move from here.
Yeah,
Me personally.
me
I had to
too.
move from Page County for a while.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was ever going to be able to live here again and not use.
Right.
I mean, I remember my girls always telling me, "Mom, you can. You can't." And I'm like, "No, I can't."
Mhm.
Because it's there.
I thought that for the longest time too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Once I was at this place of like nowhere else to go, and I had somebody offer me a home, and it happened to be right here on Main Street in Stanley, I was like, you know what? Here we go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try my best,
Right.
And but it's just, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. And just, when those doors open, go for them. If you are in a place right now where dope is all around you and in your heart you want to get clean, go ahead and reach out to Salvation Army or
That's right.
one of the places. Get you a
Yeah.
bed lined up. And I mean, somebody will get you there. We can get you there. Just get that step of getting into a place that's safe.
That's right.
That-
Yeah. And get
that's
away
number
from it.
one.
That is number one. I
That's
mean,
number
that's
one.
key. If you know what I mean, sometimes you got to reach out to somebody that is going to say some things to you that you don't want to hear.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we all have family members that have been hard on us, but that we know deep down they love us, and that's why they have been.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes, swallowing your pride and maybe reaching out to somebody that has, is
Yeah.
going to fuss a little bit, but they might be the very one that can help you get yourself on like the right footing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so, but we got a great community here. We've got we're surrounded by so many different people with the community or with the recovery groups and everything like that. And so we're thankful here to just have so many people around to help and encourage.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments. Hey, Misty and Charlie. I hope you guys are doing good
Hey,
this
guys.
morning. Yeah, it's definitely our community is, honey, we are amazing.
Yeah.
Like we're getting that. Like
Yeah.
we're getting there.
There
Recovery
is true
world is here.
revival happening here in Page County in the
Absolutely.
recovery community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be a time where, we could not step out and we would be scared to step out and ask for help.
Yeah.
Because of the way people would look down on you or whatever. But I think that this addiction or addictions across our community has affected so many people
Mhm.
that we're at the point where it's like, okay, lift this rug, here we go.
Yeah.
You can say where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're in active addiction and you want help, step out there
That's
and
right.
in faith and let's do this.
Yeah, because we're all here to help you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody should lose their
'Cause
job
we
or lose their
all
life.
we all had a day one. We all had a half a day into recovery. So, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter where you're at. Like she said, if you're in active addiction and need help, reach out.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the things that are coming up here. We have Celebrate Recovery on Monday nights at 6:00, and that's on Main Street Baptist in Luray. We have Free Indeed. That is tonight at 6:30, and that's on Newport Road in Shenandoah. And childcare is at both of these places. March for Jesus, that's already went over, but let's talk about that. March for Jesus. It was a good turnout, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we didn't because it's still on my list, so I'm guessing we didn't talk about it. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't mark it off. But yeah, it was a good turnout, and that's going to be a yearly annual thing. So shout out to everyone that put that together and made a huge success.
And
I wasn't
everybody
able,
that came out to join in.
yeah, I wasn't able to go to the Shenandoah one. I missed that one. I had a late check in that day, or so I had to go to work. But it turned
Mhm.
out great up there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Missed a lot. Rec Center, shout out to Audrey with all he's doing down there at Luray. They had just went to a big beach trip this past week.
I did see something about that.
Yeah, and they took a lot of families who never even got to go to the beach before. And they did like I guess Jesus celebrations or whatever through the night. I don't know. It
I
was
think that
church or something,
it was
maybe.
like they had like a church service Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah,
maybe.
so they took that big trip and put it together.
Then afterwards, they stopped by the beach. And
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That's so great. If you would like to donate to his cause, you can go to Cash App Living Legacy Luray. He's helping the children and families kind of, bind the men back together, which is awesome. Here at Valleys Rise Above, we have our Cash App as well. If you would like to donate to us with, we're still trying to raise money for another restroom here. We're looking at other housing to start here soon. So hopefully, Lord willing, that'll all come together where we can put that all together to have two separate homes
Right.
for men and women, because
Right.
it is hard to do co-ed.
That's right.
It really is. So
Yeah.
we need those two separate homes. But you can go to Cash App Valleys Rise Above for that. First Steps to Freedom. I'm guessing this is all still going on. And if not, you guys, please update me on this information. It's been on my list for a while. But that is at 3:30 Shen Elk and Elkton at 7:00 on Thursday nights. Okay. And then we have another Thursday night meeting. It's New Life Recovery at Grace Covenant. And that is at
Harrisonburg.
6:30 in Harrisonburg as well. So yeah, that's all I have. If you guys have anything else you want me to announce on our podcast, please just message me and let me know. Sobriety dates, if you want to celebrate your sobriety date, let me know. We would love to put it on here because that's a big big deal.
Yes.
And we need people to sign up to come here with us and, talk about what you've been through. It doesn't have to be addiction. It can be something else that you went through in life that can inspire and help somebody else out there right now.
Just your story.
Yeah, just
Whatever your story is, because we all have a story.
Exactly. So please reach out to us if you would like to join us. We're planning on trying to stick with Tuesday and Saturday mornings here, but we can always work around other people's schedule.
Yep.
So, all right. Anything else we need to say? Anything on your heart?
Nope.
Got it all clear. All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you all hopefully on Saturday.
Bye, guys.